Hello everybody, everyone's doing well. Today we're going to be 3D modeling in Blender. It's been a while since I've done that. Oh? Art category would work? I guess so. So if you want to know what I'm gonna be 3D modeling, here's your first hint. So art category would work. Let me see if that works. I guess, yeah. Let's do that then. There we go. If you can guess what this is about, then I'm congratulating you. Let me just grab my reference images real quick for what I'm about to start on. Creative is an over category now which contains art, software and game development and others. Yes, you are kinda on the right track. That's partially the right thing. I'll give you another hint. There's hold on. Let's grab a cube real quick and give it the appropriate colors. So, the first color is gonna be just pitch black. The second color is gonna be a toxic green. Is it for the car I also have? The same faction. Not exactly the same car. Needs to be lighter green. There we go. Actually, no, it's darker. Hold on. Actually, why am I making it difficult for myself? I can literally just pull the image into Blender and then just... It's not gonna be baseline, but it's the same faction as the one that you have. Let me save this image real quick. Oh wait, I already have this image saved. What am I saying? Let's see. What I need is a reference image. So where can I add the background image? There. I don't know why there's an image in there already. I only have one of them. Let's see. Let me... Team assets. Drones. RDO6 Storm Realm. Now, there it is. So that second color I do need to copy from that. Let's increase the opacity. There we go, that's better. I also kinda need a slight hint of reds. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, first things first, I need a modifier, a mirror modifier. Because this is a symmetrical car. Well, my car does have the Hot Wheels logo on the bottom as well. And since it's closed, I think it fits. I guess... true. So, let's grab a quick mirror modifier. Put this back to location 0, 0. I don't know why there's a second cube here. It's not in here. Is it? Okay. It is there. Delete the second cube. There we go. So, we're gonna start with this one and it's gonna be fairly easy. Let me just rename it real quick to what it's actually gonna become. And if you didn't know already, let me save this real quick so that... that's not intended. As I was saying, let me save this real quick. And then I'm gonna pull something in here that I've made previously. Why is it not opening? Open Audio 7. Open Blender file. Why is it not opening? Why is it remaining the Arduino 6? Oh, it's not supported? Wait, what? Oh, I think I know what the issue is. I think I know what the issue is, and that's because I opened it in a more recent version of Blender. Okay, let me make it different then. Did I say, and did I export it as an FBX? Or as an object? I think I exported it as an object. There it is. Sadly, I don't have the textures applied to it. So let me fix that real quick. Give it its textures. Open Arduino 7 texture. Okay, that's acting up a little bit. Let me fix that. Come on. God damn it, work with me, Blender. Audio 7 textures, there we are. What the fuck is going on with that? Excuse me? Why are there white triangles on here? Shit's broken. Shit's broken in the imports, of course. Shit's got broken in the imports, of course it did. Oh well, you get the idea. You get the idea. Okay. I don't know why that remains. Weird. Anyway, let's get to the actual car that we were working towards. Or that we're about to start, more like, because I haven't really done anything yet. I'm gonna keep this to the side, just so that we can easily get to the textures. So, first things first. I'm gonna grab this to here, and we're gonna adjust where our mirror is. There we go, clipping enabled so that we can easily connect everything together by just moving it to each other. So we first need our basic shape. And I'm already regretting doing the black already. Being pitch black. Let me lighten that a little bit so that I can at least see the edges. There we go. I will make that darker again once everything is actually molded. So our most basic shape is this one. I keep forgetting that it's been a while since I've done Blender, so I keep messing up on what is what. So let me see. Can I get some different angles images of this? Let me see. There are a couple, but not really any good ones. Actually, why am I making it difficult for myself? I literally have an example right next to me. I can literally just look at it. I literally have a physical copy here. Oh, and I realized there is actually supposed to be one more material, which is basically just silver. I'll give it a slightly blue shine. Just a very lightly one. There we go. So, what we first need to begin with is the general front. So, we're just gonna make the general nose. Oh fuck! I am angled the wrong way. I keep messing up. What? Sorry. Keep messing up the facts that which one is front and which one is sides. What's not fair? God damn it. God damn it, what's your issue, Hori? God damn it. I'm not gonna question anything of you. So, if I am seeing this correctly, that it does kinda hop up around here. Once it's called right when you started streaming. I always stream on the same fucking time, you know this. No. It's literally every single day aside from Wednesday and Sunday, 7 PM for me. Okay, something is not right here. Okay, let's see. What the fuck is going on this bit? Hold on. Modifier hides the mirror. Ah, okay, I see the issue. I did the wrong extrusion, that's why. We'll make it easy, we'll just delete the faces on this side and it should fix itself. There we go. But my big issue here is I need to round it off a little bit. Hold on, let me change this. Let me try what you 3D modeling. What I am 3D modeling is that car in the background. Also, I just realized what's silver on this version is black on that version. Okay, I need to be more careful with my with my references then. As for what version I'm using, I'm literally using the toy version in my. What the fuck? Okay, weird. Damn, I could 3D print that if I got the files, lol. Yeah. I'd have to first make it though. Besides, I can technically 3D print it myself as well. God damn it. God damn it, Tori. So, in the front here, there was an inset that we need to make. Inset face. God. Brother lost accelerators. Oh, yes. Accelerators is just great. I'm actually doing I'm actually doing a TTRPG based on it. That's not the direction that I was aiming for. Hold on. There we go. Right around there. Move that one and move that down. Get there. And then everything except that one up to there. Remove doubles. And then we can dissolve that line, that edge. Then we extrude this inwards. Smoothen it a little bit. And that we're gonna assign this. That needs to be a bit darker. So we're gonna be making this the bits that it shoots the electrical pulses out of. Which means I do need to start making the bumper out of here. So an inset face. There we go. Slide this one over. Move that and then shrink it. And then delete this line. That edge deletes. And then we can use this square to extrude out of for the beginning of the bumper. Make a little loop cut. And then we can use that to extrude the rest of the bumper out of. It's looking quite rough right now, but it's gonna improve, I promise. So, let me look at the reference real quick. Yeah, that's a little more angular than the toy version. So I have to make sure that it's actually that angled as well. Got that. I keep forgetting that that's the toggle for the GBA form as well. Then we go connected proportional editing. Choose that and we make it shorter. There we go. A little bit up. There we go. Make the main material a little bit darker again, just so we have a better look of what it's gonna become. Yeah, that's looking already pretty decent. But I do also need to proportionally edit this forward a little bit. God damn it. That's unfortunate that that combo is the same. The button combo is the same. Okay, I got a little bit too much connected here. There we go. And I am gonna make this a little bit thicker by just sliding this along. And then smoothing it out a little bit. We'll smooth this over a little bit as well. There we go. Okay, so that's basically the snout already done. Well, the front grille. It is a bit crude, I will clean it up a little bit nicer later. But first I want to get the general shape out, so that I have more of a reference to work with. So after that, we do need to extend this out. And then we have this little annoying bit here where it basically goes down, which we can technically do with a inset face. But that doesn't really work with the intent. How can I do this better? You know what, before we add that detail, let's just do the rough shape. So, we do need to continue on this shape essentially. Because the entire car is basically just a wedge. Yeah, so it's dial. I'm doing pretty decent. Learned some new skills. Oh, slightly new skills. I do feel like we should kinda add the wheels, just so we have a reference of where everything comes. Which means I will have to... Wait, what? Hold on. What's going on there? Ah, okay, this entire inside has... That's not the intent. There's not supposed to be anything on the insides. Damn it, oh yeah, in my Minecraft worlds I made a large working furnace. Nice! These... I don't get why those are there. I swear, I'm gonna fucking disable this, the fucking... toggle on my, I'm gonna disable the toggle on, hold on VTube Studio. Options, animations. Chibi, disable. There we go. I think it should still... I just noticed something. Huh. Why was that out and why weren't my arms hidden? So good I can get it full of smelted items and cooked. Nice. I don't know why it suddenly decided to add these extra vertices, but we don't need them. There we go. Oh, there's 2 more over here. There we go. Do we have any more stray vertices in here? No? Good. Alright. Back to what I was saying here. I need the wheels in here, which means I do need to add a block in here that basically the wheels will be connecting to. Without the proportional editing. There we go. I was stupid to make it be in, but it's totally worth it. If you say so. Alright, and then this one we also make sure lines up. There we go, and then we basically have our points of connection. Also, I should probably make these the same size as well when it comes to how close they get to each other, that they are in line. Flatten that out. And then we flatten that out. Alright. I'm not gonna be making an entire shaft in there, I'm just gonna select the entire square and only this square. Create a circle. Oh. First, select a cursor to selected. Excuse me, that's not cursor to selected. There's cursor to selected. Let's say it was 30 and 15 by 30 of normal furnace, but it's 50 blocks tall. Jesus, man. Okay, what I need is a cylinder. A lot smaller in radius. Less vertices. And quite a bit shorter. And then we rotate it over the y-axis. No, not the y-axis, on the x-axis. There we go. Radius can go a little bit lower again. There we go. Perfect. So now we have an axle to actually connect to. So we are just gonna expand this out. Gonna... gonna put this a little closer again. And that seems like a good midway point. Extrude, scale. Gonna scale that up and then scale it close together. And I forgot about the clipping. No worries. Make it a little bit bigger and then we just make it extremely thin. And then we scale it up. That's a little bit... Then again... Yeah, it can go a little bit bigger actually. Then we mark everything together and we move it up. I didn't realize that it actually goes through there. This entire block in below is just fucking unnecessary. What? Okay, what is the fucking combination that triggers the pillow being pulled out? Because I want to disable it. It's... What is getting the... What's pulling out the fucking pillow? Let me disable all of these whilst we work, because I keep triggering them by accident. Okay, pillow, toggle item, middle mouse click Alt. There we go. Disable that. There. Now I shouldn't be accidentally activating any toggles. So I'm gonna extrude this out. And then I'll just delete any unnecessary lines, because I don't need unneeded vertices. They just take away performance. As for this, extrude, scale down. That's gonna be red. And then that. And that. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, I think I might now new chat in your Discord just for the ban list and the rules. What? I don't know about that. I might have to subdivide the wheels a little bit so that they are a bit rounder. Then again, I can maybe, hold on, add modifier. And... subdivision. Oh, look at that, that actually makes it work quite nicely. Aside from, well, the red center. You know what? Let me select all of this. Tools. Subdivide. And then we deselect the center. Come on. There we go. There we go, and smoothen it twice. Perfectly round. Perfect. Now we can just scale it along the y-axis to get a proper width. There we go. And then we smooth this one out so it goes inwards. So I meant to say, and think you might make. I think because of new people joining the tourney, they would know the rules in the ban list right before the tournament starts. I mean, they are specifically mentioned in a pinned comment. Okay. That's actually starting to look a bit like it. I'm gonna put a line right there. And then I'll take all of this. Control E. There wasn't a special way of doing this. Where's the... Oh, it's not a Control E, is it? It's Shift E. No. Is it Alt E? Maybe it's from a later one only. I'm just gonna do the regular E then. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got news for you. What news? Mentor is tier 2. Alright. And what's the intent there? You're telling me that? I mean, currently I don't run a Memento deck, so... Okay, let's make this the windscreen. Then we can expand this out as intended. What do you mean? I thought you did. I have a Memento deck, but I don't play it at the moment. Besides, we've hit Memento already quite a bit. Okay, let's see. Let me see this and the toy version again. Okay. That's... Okay, the toy version comes up a little bit higher next to the windshield. Like, this bit is quite thin on the 3D model in the movies, but the toy version is a little bit thicker. I don't know how I feel about that one. Anyway, it does kinda dent in around here. But it also, if I'm seeing this correctly, kind of fans out over here as well. There we go. And then next to this, I'm gonna delete that one. Because that's gonna be just windscreen. Extrudes, X. And then right behind where the wheels are, there is some connection, something green, some really high. Actually, no, I don't need to make an extra one. Hold on. Because in the series it's just gray. So I just put a... Come on, why can I not make a proper ring like that? No? Weird. Guess we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way then. I'll just take these. Cursor to selected. There we go. And then from there, we create another cube. A lot smaller. We'll assign that the silver color. And then we go and actually make this the proper shape. And the proper shape is basically just the entire steering assembly. Which is, if I'm seeing this on the toy version, not all too much of an issue. Like, this is literally just tools, inset face. That's not the intent. Just this face alone. Inset face. Get this edge. Move that over to here. And then we'll take another inset face. Extrude that out a little bit, and then that we extrude back inwards. I'll say to hurt Chris you need to hit Chris on Sulfador because it can foolish twice. I don't know. Okay. What we now need is some vents. How we're gonna do the vents here? I think the best way to do it is just take this face out of it. Just this face alone. Shift duplicate it, move it up. Then we just do some of these. And then every other one we move down. And the ones that we didn't use earlier, we now move forwards. Delete the first one. Now we just drop that back in. Can't really see it at this point, but it is there. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna add a little bit of detail and then you go like this and it's just gone. Let me make a quick light so we can actually see how it renders. Oh god, it renders horribly. But that's probably because we haven't actually given it any smoothing. We haven't really set what are sharp edges and smooth edges. Damn it. That's a sharp edge. Come on. I hate that the fucking pop-up of the names on my toolbar here are fucking blocking my inputs. That's a sharp edge. There we go. That cleans up a bit nicer. That's a sharp edge. That renders a bit better. Still though, we're still a far way away from actually being able to do this properly. Those are sharp. That's a bit better already. Damn it. Sometimes I hate a fucking Windows toolbar. And then literally all of these are flat faces, sharp edges. Same for this entire box here. Flat, sharp, everything is sharp aside from this. That's gonna smooth. Just that diagonal needs to be smooth, not the entire line. Jesus, Blender. You're really dead set on making it hard for me, don't you? There we go. That's better. Now you can actually see the vents. Alright. But let's quickly get back to texture rather than material, because that actually helps a little bit with actually seeing shit. Same if I disable the sun. So, then from there on out, there is right beside where the box is, that's steering units. There is a inset face that I need to make here. I just need these two. Move those over. That's a bit too far. Just need to be roughly square, and then these two down. Then extrude that. And that's gonna be rotated over Z 90 degrees. That's not over Z. I don't know what that is, but that's definitely the wrong axis. That's weird. Alright, we gonna make it more on the more traditional way then. There. Flatten that out. There we go. And now we just need to position this. And that bend is slightly in front of the window. And a little bit closer to the window. And then we extrude out. That is an entirely sharp edge. And that is gonna come out right underneath this corner here. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put cursor to selected. And then selected to cursor offsets. Hold on. What? Oh, forgot to deselect that one vertices. I would say I do like the new rule that Sentry put in Mouse Tool. Yeah, that was indeed a ghost suggestion. Like Sentry says. There we go. But it has to come up a little bit there. There. Ooh, that's actually looking pretty close already, jeez. I might actually be getting done with this sooner than I thought, Jesus. I do need to move everything over a little bit. There we go. That's looking pretty close already, jeez. Okay. This material though, I do need to make some transparency on. Make the alpha a little bit lower. It does mean, because I'm gonna reduce the transparency on this, that I will have to fill this in with a different material. Because else you're just gonna see right through it. So I have to fill that. Hold on. Let me select this material, part it, and then we take this and this, Control E, bridge edge loop. There we go. We put two circle loops in there, and then we use some nice tools to actually make it look like a proper rim. There we go. Then we take this piece again, rejoin them, mark everything, tools, remove double so it all connects. There we go. I also just realized I actually need to take this. Come on. And I'm gonna have to duplicate it, scale it up, Well, scale it down first in the x-axis, and then scale it up. Give it the grit and the silver material, and then just move it over a little bit. And I just realized I have... Okay, how did I have to do this again? Is it... There was a hotkey for just moving along the... God damn it, was it Shift Alt Plus? I don't remember. Shift Alt Plus. Oh, that's Control Alt Plus. Control Shift? Control Shift, that's it. Dissolve the extra vertices. There we go. And then we take this, extrude, scale down. And then we move that in a little bit. There we go. That's some extra detailing on the axle. Now, the rest of this cockpit needs to be made. Delete that face. And just say something crazy. And saw something crazy? Okay, what did you see? Yourself? No? Oh well. Okay. Let me see here. It's just a straight line across. So I guess this one to there. And then move that up a little bit. There we go. And this needs to go down a little bit. And out. There we go, that's looking nice. So I need some pieces underneath here that's silver. How am I gonna do that? Currently just going to go solids. I'm gonna disable the track for a second. So I can actually properly see from the underneath. This I kinda just get to delete. It's fine. This I'm gonna make a little easier on the eyes by insetting that a little bit. The guy was playing Hero Fiendsmith and got the life points at 200 and instead of 5 disruptions plus Ash. And cross out, put an opponent's turn, all the opponents summons Lava Golem and pass. Okay. Gonna smoothen this out a little bit. There we go. And move that a little bit further back. I'm gonna thicken up the front fin a little bit, and then the outside's a little bit thinner. Smoothen that one up. I don't want these to be smoothed out. There. That's starting to look pretty close, right? But I need to basically make all of this in sets. Which I can technically just do by going inwards a little bit. Oh, why is there no way of extruding in such a way that that's just the edges? I know there is supposed to be a way of extruding that it's that if I extrude inwards it also takes everything down. But the guy didn't have any way to get rid of lava golem on his turn. Ah. I mean, if I go like this... You know what? Fuck it. We'll do it the hard way then. Extrude this inwards. Delete that edge. Merge that to that one. And that one to there. And then we just have to aim this a bit better. That's a bit wonky, but I guess it works. Yeah, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. There. And that's gonna be sharp edge. Same for this one, sharp edge. Does that fix anything? Drill. Do need to get the lights in there. I mean, kinda. Not exactly great, but it kinda does work. I don't know. Go away, Norton. Still, how are we gonna do this lower half? Because there's still an entire half on the bottom that we need to do. Or that I need to do, that's completely silver. Gonna flatten that out a little bit and then move it down. And I'm getting a call, 1 second. And I'm back. Sorry about that. But, the IRL situation is literally my brother always shows up during stream time because he has no other time to do it, and he wanted to actually be able to speak to me at least once more. And I can't fault him for that. I actually complained about it earlier, so... I mean, I complained about him not doing that earlier, so... It's my own fault that they interrupt the stream. Make that a sharp edge, and... If I remember correctly... Ah, yeah, I need to... take this entire side... Put an inset face on there. And then we move that in. And then I need to basically put some cylinders in here. Yeah, let's save real quick, and then cursor to selected, create a cylinder, make it a little deeper, we rotate it over the x-axis 90 degrees. Okay, that's the wrong axis. The y-axis then. Okay, that's correct, but we need to increase it a little bit. Let's say 105 degrees. Okay, that's a bit much. 95 then. That's perfect. We're gonna make that completely smooth face. Gonna scale it up a little bit. Give it the silver color. And we're gonna extend it out a little bit. And then we... a little extension, and then scale it together. And we smooth one time on that one. Another circle there, and thicken it up. And on this side we do something similar, extrude, but before we extrude out, we scale up, and then extrude out. There we go. I'm just gonna extrude out until the very end, where I'll just scale it down. And then thicken it up a little bit and smoothen. There we go. That's the intent, but we now need to add some detailing. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Take this, and then this. Oh fuck, okay, that's gonna be more difficult. Let's change that to be like this, and then Control Shift E. Oh, Shift Alt E it is, I think. No? Control Alt E? No, it's Shift Alt E. Let me guess, it only works on edges, doesn't it? Fuck. Alright, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way then. Inset faces. There we go. And we take the edges, these two, and that one on the bottom. And we just slide those over. There we go. Extrudes. And then inwards. There we go. Perfect. Then we go one up, and we mark all of those as sharp edges, flat surfaces. Nice. Now, to continue on, if I am seeing this right, there has to be an edge around here. Oh no, I see. So I might have made a little mistake here, but there's an easy solution for that. Delete that edge, and then resolve this one. And delete this one as well. And the reason for that is there is a little bit of a thickness that I need to add here. We make that black again. And I'm just gonna connect this to there. And fill this in. Which also makes it that I have to move this entire thing out a little bit. There. And we'll smooth that one out. Make that sharp edges. Except for these two up, two on top. Those can be smooth. Actually, no, this one needs to be sharp. There. And this one will just up and down. That way, that's in perfect line with the rest. Up and down. As for that one, we'll move this a little bit down, just so that that edge isn't as abrupt. Alright, next bit. I guess we can go from the back of the window, of the windshield, straight to the back. So extrudes along X. Goes a little bit down. And then rotate over Z, because it's a point. And then scale in the Y, as it thins out a little bit. There we go. And then we make that black again. And then let me see real quick. I was about to say it tends down, but it doesn't. But this does go straight down. Scaling next to make it a little softer of a point. And then this, scaling the z-axis so that that's flat. And then we go a little bit back, around, I want to say here. And we just extrude this out and back. That's our endpoints for that, and from there we go down. Currently just a line, because I'm not sure yet how this is gonna go. A little bit outwards. A little bit in. And I feel like that might be already too far to the front. I feel like this might actually need to go a little further to the back. Well, the top part at least. That needs to be to the front. Then we take all of that, extrude it to the front. Extrude this along the Y. Fill that in. Problem is we do need to connect this, so I'm gonna have to take this, tools, subdivide, and then we move this over to roughly the right spot. Take this down, select the other one, there we go. And then in that, we do need to fill this out in the back. Fill that out. And now this is the more interesting part here. Because this square, we're gonna have to put some vents on. So excuse me. So I'm gonna subdivide this first. And then we take this section and set a face in that. take this section and instead of facing that, and those faces we need to subdivide into 3 pieces. Meaning we have to... think. Not like that, like that. That. And that. These... we can just dissolve the vertices. And for these, we're gonna swap to just face selections. Inset face. And same for this one. God damn it. God damn it, Hori! Inset face again. There we go. That's looking good. I do need to fan this one out a little further though. And then from this... God damn it! Can you stop that? And then from there out... where do I start with the back wheels? I guess the best thing to do is just take these wheels that I already have, including their axles, Shift T, and move them over backwards. God damn it. Thing is, I can't reposition myself in with this because I disabled all of the toggles. Then I deselect the axle. And then I scale it up a little bit because the back wheels are a little bit bigger. And then move them up. There. We are technically kind of in line, but I do feel like they are supposed to be a little bit out. Just a little bit. And that's one I do need to move a little bit in. There. Then we'll take the natural curve of the tires as our reference point for what we do for our spoiler. So Shift T, scale it up. That's a little bit too much. Make that black again. And then we just expand it in. Connect that. Then we take this, extrude it out a little bit, and thicken it up. There we go. That's the easy parts. And these are relatively flat on the side-by-sides, so it doesn't really curve out, so that's actually a pretty good thing for me. Makes it a lot easier. I do have to pull these a bit upwards though. There. Yeah, those seem good. Now, roughly around this vertex, all the way to this vertex, I need to extrude out. Make a pin, essentially, all the way to the back. And then we take this entire section, extrude it out again. There we go. This one goes to there. That gives us our pin on the top. And that's quite unintentional. Jesus, man. Really, that doesn't count? It is quite angular, but I'm gonna rotate it a little bit to flatten things off a little bit. Rotate over Y. Scale it down. There we go. And then just a slight little bit of a dent in there, just so there's no issues with faces overlapping with each other. It gives a little of a curve that isn't supposed to be there, but it's basically unnoticeable, so it gets a pass. Now, as for this, let's put some cuts in here. Just so we have connection points to make everything work. Because I'm gonna connect this like that. And then just go forth from there. Go cut there, and then with that we can... Oh. Okay, that's a little bit more annoying because it keeps running through. Let me fix that real quick with a little random cut here. Just so it doesn't see that as a possible path anymore. Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to make a cut on this side as well then. There. Now it should only make it there. And then by this deselecting the outer ones, I can destroy the edge entirely. And then just dissolve these edges then. Dissolve that edge. Dissolve that edge and dissolve this edge. Now that this is open, I should be able to just use these two and repeatedly say fill. And it's going the wrong way. Of course it does. Come on. Select the I should have deleted the vertices rather than the edge. Oh well. Delete the vertices. There we go. Will it now go the right way? Yes, it does. There we go. So now I just need to take all of this and just stretch it out a little bit to the right. There we go. That's already starting to look quite close to what I'm supposed to be making. I just need to make a little extra bit right in front of these wheels. Right? Yes, this little fin here. And then I just have to close everything up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna extrude those all the way to the bottom, and then scale it all up on the z-axis until it's completely flat. Go up. There we go, and I think the easiest thing for me to do then is just select, make it silver, then make this edge a sharp edge, and that flat. Delete that edge, and then I can just fill that one in, and that can be filled to there, and that should be like this. Now there is a little bit there that I do have to fill up, but that's easily done. Just have to move this up. And a little bit in, so it doesn't clip. There we go. Now I just fill this in a bit. And with that, extrude inwards. To fill there. And then fill this there. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna fill this in. Also black. And then this triangle we fill in as well in black. Recalculate out sides. There we go. And now we just need to fix some proportions. So let me take these wheels. I'm gonna part them here. And I'm gonna go and take some pieces here and move them in. Thin it out a little bit. There. I do feel like here in the back I should make it a little wider. I don't know. Okay, this I feel like could make a little better. Yeah, I can move this out a little bit. Up. Make it a little more curved. There we go. Put the front wheels back on. They do seem like they need to be in a bit more. Rejoin them. There we go. And I do feel like this needs to be fixed. I'm gonna make it so only connected stuff moves, so only the cylinder should be moving. There. That should fix that. And there is a stray vertices there that we're just gonna delete. Alright, that seems good. Let's see how it looks in rendered. With the sun visible, of course. And it looks pretty close already. But there's definitely still some weirdness going on. I think it's mostly to do with this square here. Oh, okay, I see. That needs to be filled as well. There. That's all the way to there, and then around. Those are sharp edges. And you know what? Just to be safe, I'm gonna take this, extrude it, and then without that, scale it in a little bit. Just a little. So we have a little bit of a seam there. Just to make it a little clearer that it's actually a window. The one problem is, since it's now transparent as window, I do need to model a chair in there as well. Unless I can just turn off the transparency. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna turn off the transparency. Now here, this I'm gonna fix. That I feel like needs to be a little more... What's it? Oh, fuck. I just want this, not the window in the back. There we go. And let's move this out a little bit more. Make the connection a little bit thicker. And closer to the front. There. That's a bit better. Now we take this piece, move it out a little further, and then move it back. We'll take another piece right here. And we'll move this a little closer. That's a bit better. Then again, that doesn't seem right. That seems more right. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'm gonna widen the connection again. I was gonna mark that as sharp edges for that entire square. I feel like this might actually be a bit redundant. Dissolve that edge. Go like that. And then that's to there. Tools. Remove doubles. That seems better. But why is the things messing up here? Do I need to lower this? What's happening here? Ah, okay, I see. That's what's happening. That's fine. UV shading, those are sharp edges. Oh, come on. That's a sharp edge. Rotate that. And then we move that down a little. There. That's better. Yeah, that looks better. I do feel like these need to come forward a little bit more. Just so that it's a bit more obvious. And those... No, not those. Come on. Scale those together until that's completely flat. And then we bring that forwards a little bit as well. Not much, but a little bit. There we go, I think that's basically it. We just need to add that little triangle and close this bottom off. So how does this close up? I mean, speaks up for itself actually. We'll just make a connection there, subdivide it, fill, and then fill. All of that smooth faces, and then these will be sharp edges. Yes. Same for this entire bottom. These we are going to make a little cleaner. We're gonna smoothen those out, scale them in the Y. Oh, that's the wrong way. Move forward, there, and then we smoothen them. I do feel like we need to move this a bit further to there. Okay, one less, and we smoothen those out again. There we go, that's looking nice. Right? Yeah. We'll just connect those so we have a full axle. Delete that vertices because it's redundant. Extrudes along y-axis, fill out. Extrudes along x-axis. About there. Fill that one in. Make all of this silver. Slide that over. Fill. Also gray. Fill. Again, gray. Fill, and then move doubles so that that's 1 point. And fill. There we go. Now I take everything down here. Including that one. We scale it on the z-axis until it's flat. Now we bring it up and down a little bit. And there we go. Okay. Now we just connect the last bits. Fill. There we go. And we clean this up. On the shading. Make that sharp. Make this flat. You know what? No. Let's make it smooth. But for the faces. This one smooth. That edge smooth. Smoothing all of this. There we go. And then we just need to make this little triangle over here. So that still needs to come here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking this edge. Take this entire square. I'm gonna insert a face in there. Slide this one over. Extrude out. There we go. Rotate it out a little bit further. And then from here we will actually make that triangular piece. Make that black. Now let's see what we can do. Gonna make an extra cut to not cause any deformation on that bit. I don't want to make a cut that's the entire way around, so I'm gonna make a cut right there. And a cut there. And that should... Okay, that fucked that up. Okay, I'm gonna make it just a cut from this to there. And that should make it so it doesn't go there. Hey, I do custom artwork for streamers and content creators. Would you like to have a look? No thanks. I just got this new design on the background. And I'm already quite content with my current VTuber MOA. There we go, and go. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab this entire section here. I'm gonna subdivide it. Take this one, dissolve that entire edge, and just thicken this up a little bit and then move it forwards a little bit. There. Yeah, okay, and do the same over on these ones. Solve that edge. Can I drop your Discord and Instagram in chat? Huh? I mean... My Discord, there is literally a command for that. I think it was !Discord. Let me test that real quick. If the message wants to go through, there we go. We put a subdivide on there. Grab the axes. These I don't need, that one I don't need. Dissolve those edges. This one I do need. So move that one forward and this one back. Move that one forward again. There. And then we take this entire front piece. Remove that quite a bit forward, like that. Let me take this. Smoothen those vertices. Okay, that's not good. Okay, let's move this one in. And then like this. That works too. There. That's better. Now we take all of this, we scale it a little bit, so it's a little bit thinner, and move it in. As for this front piece, I'm gonna grab all of this and scale it in general a bit down, so it's a little pointier. I don't know, I might have overdone the pointiness on that one. I don't know. Let me grab the reference image. No, I don't think I did I might have to reduce the size of the wheels on the front a bit though. Moving those out, scale it up. There we go. I am going to move them in a bit. They seem a bit far like that. Yeah, that seems about right. Just need to move the wheels down a bit as well. Which also includes the steering system here. Because again, it does need to be on the ground with wheels. Okay. Deselect the wheels and then move this out a little bit along Y. There. And then the entire thing I can rotate softly along the X-axis, the Y-axis, to be a bit more downwards. After all, if I put it down... Let me put the road down as a reference. Maybe increase the size of this road real quick. There we go. So if we move this onto the road, so it touches. I think that should be about it as angle. Yes. Now we can just do some minor fixes. Like for example, increase the height of this and make it a little sharper over the hoods. There we go. I will have to texture it still, and UV unwrapping this bitch is gonna be annoying. But I think this is actually pretty good already. Jeez. Now, normally there is a circle thing here and all of the silver bits do come out a little lower, but we're gonna make it a little personalized. We're not gonna have it exact 100%. After all, if I want 100% exact, I'd have to put some real detailing on this wheel as well, because there's in the actual... image of this one, there is actually a little bit of vents in the wheel, I think would say you call it. Like there's indents on that. That's a little small. There we go. I think that's looking pretty neat. I do have to make this sharp edges. Same on this side. And down there. Faces are smooth though. However, for the glass here, we are going to make them flat. Just to drive the point home that that's the glass. The windshield. Aside from that, it's actually pretty close already. Basically just this here that we need to change into flat pieces when it comes to the faces. Now let's go to renders. And it's not great looking. I don't know what's going on there. What's gone awry? Ah, okay, I think I see one of the issues. If I can just subdivide that one. And then I take a knife, take just this first piece, take that, move that forwards, and then we take a knife and connect that to that corner. And then we smoothen this out. And we make a cut to there as well. Smoothen that out. And that should fix that. Yeah, that fixes that issue. Now for this issue over here. How do we resolve that? I guess the quickest way of resolving this issue is just to push it inwards a little bit. Like that. Yeah, that seems a bit better already. Maybe just move this across. Now that seems a bit thin. Let's smooth that out. Yeah, that seems better. So it should be a bit rounder, but I guess I'm a little too low probably on this. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm already quite happy with what I have. But I guess it doesn't really do much harm to see what ideas you have. Okay, let's move this across a little bit. Solve that edge. There, and make that little cut, and with that we should be able to make that a little bit rounder. There. Yeah, that's a bit better. Huh. I do kinda wanna take this little square here and rotate that over the x-axis a little bit in this direction. There. Yeah, that seems better. Alright, back to rendered. Let's see, does that look better? Yes, but the materials are not great. Let me see if I can fix that. Let's give a slight emit on the tires. Let's make that also have a little bit of a green glow on the speculiars. This material we are going to reduce the speculiar on. We're gonna make tints a bit darker. Reduce the ambience. Increase the hardness. Silver, we go do a similar thing. Oh wait, that's the wrong way around. I needed to move this one over a little bit. The diffuse we are gonna change to Fresnel. No. Or an air. This one we swap to Fresnel. Doesn't really do much, does it? Hold on, let's go to materials so we don't have that glitchiness from rendering. Let's change this more to Fong. Reduce the increase the hardness. Introduce the intensity. We are going to make that a B-spline. Reduce the factor of the mixing, and yeah, I'm gonna keep that as a mix. Actually, we're gonna reduce the hardness, but we're also gonna reduce the intensity. No, hardness maxed out. Because it's metallic. This one. We're gonna have that emit quite hard, because that's supposed to be a light. And then we give this a bit of a translucency. I feel like I'm messing up with this one too much. Make it a little lighter, just a tad little bit lighter. Oh god, that makes it a little more annoying. B-spline. Gonna change this to Oranair. Oh. Head back to Coctor. Fuck. I'm not great with the Blender shaders, if you couldn't tell. Oh well. Get the pre and the diffuse a little darker. I do kind of want to give this some transparency though. There's still the ever faintest bits. There we go. That looks perfect. Aside from the fact that I still have to put the decals on it. Yeah, I think that looks good. I'm just gonna make the color a little bit darker and then a little bit greener. That's a bit too green. There we go. That looks good. Let me print screen this real quick. There we go. Let's save that as well. Save. And with that, I will be ending stream. So, let's see if we can find someone to raid, shall we? So, who is online today? Kinda expected that I was able to do 2 in one stream, though I guess that was a bit high hopes. Alright, let me refresh Twitch real quick. You know what? I see someone that is doing a birthday subathon, so let's see if we can rate them. /8. Go show this dog some love, they are doing a birthday subathon, and like always, it's been a blast, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!